From MTN News, this is Montana This Morning.
Good Tuesday morning. It's 5:30. Welcome to Montana This Morning. I'm Victoria Hill. Thank you so much for starting your day with us. And good morning to Miller over in the Weather Center with a beautiful sunrise working its way up behind you there.
It is absolutely gorgeous out there. May I be the first to say happy meteorological summer. This is us weather geeks. June, July, August. We gather it in separate categories of 4 months. So summer officially for the rest of us really begins on June 20th, but happy meteorological summer for my friends out there. Beautiful sunrise this morning, courtesy of the Stockman Bank weather cam. 56 right now at the airport. The humidity's at 55%. The dew point's at 40. Winds out of the southwest at about 12 miles an hour. Temperatures across the board right now. Gardner, where we're seeing some cloud cover, at 42. Livingston at 42 as well. Big Timber 51. Reed Point at 50. Broadview 52. Belfry at 55. Down in Cowley at 55. And we've got Crow Agency sitting at about 46. Highs today in the 70s and 80s. A good bit of sunshine. We'll see some clouds mixing in. And for the most part, of course, we are going to stay dry. Maybe a few drops of rain down around Red Lodge this afternoon, but that should be about it. We're going to go with a high today of 81 here in Billings. That is above average, and we're only getting hotter. We may actually try to hit 90 by tomorrow, and then we've got those record highs possible, especially on Thursday, and we'll give it a shot for Friday as well. We do have a cold front coming in, try to give us some much needed rain Thursday night into Friday, but not a whole lot of rain in the forecast beyond that.
Gosh, you know, we were outside most of the day yesterday, and I'm strongly convinced we need rain.
We do.
Because, I'm usually inside, but when it's just like hours and hours outside and you start to kind of realize how powerful the sun is. So
I went to my first Mustang game yesterday, and I'm just fried on this side of my face too. So
we had a story yesterday. Don't fry.
I put the sunscreen on, and it still got me. I kept myself hydrated, but oh well. We're going to need sunscreen and bottled water definitely as we get closer to Thursday and Friday.
All very important. All right, Miller. Well, I hope you heal up. Get some of that aloe vera gel, and you'll get all better. All right, I'll get to news. Thanks. We begin this morning with the latest on the COVID-19 pandemic. Vaccinations continued over the long weekend, with many popular vacation spots hosting pop-up clinics. The CDC reports more than 62% of American adults have received at least one dose. The number of new daily COVID infections has dropped below 13,000 nationwide, the lowest it's been in more than a year. Taking a look at some of this weekend's travel numbers, the TSA says it's been more than 7 million passengers since Thursday. AAA estimates over 37 million Americans took a trip during the holiday weekend. That's a 60% increase compared to last year, when the pandemic was sweeping across the world. The Supreme Court could issue a decision as early as today on an important LGBTQ rights case. The case centers around a Catholic social services claim the city of Philadelphia violated its First Amendment rights by ending its contract after the agency said its beliefs didn't allow it to certify same-sex couples for adoption. Lawyers argued the case in November, and a decision is expected before the court's term ends later this month. Hackers have taken on the world's biggest meat supplier. The cyber attack forced JBS to shut down its North American and Australian computer networks and forced workers to stop processing meat at one of its largest plants in Canada. The company says the hack could delay certain orders with customers and suppliers. JBS operates plants in 20 countries. This latest attack comes 3 weeks after hackers targeted the largest gasoline pipeline in the U.S. New surveillance video shows the 3 suspects accused of opening fire on a crowd outside a banquet hall in Florida, killing 2 and injuring more than 20 others. They were attending a rap concert inside. Police say the violence was the result of a rivalry between 2 groups. Authorities pulled the stolen SUV the gunman used from a nearby canal late yesterday afternoon. Now here in Billings, a chemical scare resulted in the partial evacuation of a downtown apartment building on Monday. Several residents of the Western Tower apartments reported breathing problems but didn't notice a specific smell. Firefighters spent the afternoon ventilating the apartment out of an abundance of caution. Not everyone chose to leave the building, and those who did were let back in once the building was ventilated. Firefighters have not determined the cause of the reported breathing issues and did not find toxic gases inside the apartment building. It's a trend pet owners should be aware of. There's a spike in the number of lost animals turned into shelters this time of year. MTN's Marian Davidson has steps you can take to help lost pets find their way back home.
People aren't the only ones who spend more time outside when the weather gets nice. Pets do too.
In fact, in June, July, and August, more pets tend to end up here.
People tend to go camping, they go boating, they go hiking, they do all these things and they take their pets with them. And a lot of times what that means is pets run off. They see a deer or they get lost or stuff like that just happens. It's really normal in Montana.
There are things you can do to make sure your lost pet doesn't stay lost. First,
please put a collar and tags on them so they're easy to identify.
A microchip linked to up-to-date information works too. Also, file a missing report. You can do that with law enforcement and the Humane Society. Include information about what your pet looks like, what color collar they might be wearing, their weight, and where you last saw them. Posting a photo on Facebook can be helpful too.
Those social media things get spread far and wide.
So what if you do find a dog or cat? Well, check for that all-important collar with the owner's information on it.
And if that fails, give the Humane Society a call.
We always recommend calling us and filing a found report.
Humane Society staff cross-reference lost and found reports to try and reunite pets with their people.
Just a couple of things to keep in mind as you and your pets head out this summer. In Helena, Marian Davidson, MTN News.
Now we go to Butte, where local business owners are stepping up to help bring back the M&M Bar. Clothing store 5518 Designs is selling apparel with proceeds going toward the bar's rebuilding after it was destroyed in a fire last month. So far, more than $30,000 has been raised. The store has sold over 1,200 t-shirts and nearly 800 hoodies supporting the cause. The owner of 5518 Designs says the fire left a hole in downtown Butte and it's time to get it filled.
To lose such an important and iconic building when, you know, that's the thing that makes Uptown so magical, is the historic buildings, right? And it's just, it's very, very difficult to have that loss in our community. And anyway, we're just thrilled that we could do anything to help.
You can purchase the M&M Bar apparel online at shop5518.com. Over in Helena, a behavioral health clinic has partnered with a local museum to showcase art done by patients. The exhibit features dozens of pieces, each representing a true expression of an individual at that moment. The head of the program says the Healing Arts program isn't therapy, rather a way for patients to have creative expression while staying at the hospital. However, they say the benefits of creative expression can't be denied.
The first time they came in, maybe they weren't as open or more nervous about it. Over the hour and a half, 2 hours, they've just calmed and really kind of went into that flow state of being there with being present.
If you make a trip to Helena, you can go to the Holter Museum of Art to check out the work for free. And mental health has moved to the forefront of the sports world this week. Rising tennis star Naomi Osaka withdrew from the French Open, citing bouts of depression. As CBS's Elise Preston reports, the former champion says she's taking time off the court.
Naomi Osaka lets her racket do the talking and wins her Paris opener.
The world's highest paid woman athlete, Naomi Osaka, is hanging up her tennis racket for now. After being fined $15,000 for skipping her post-win press conference at the French Open, Osaka announced on Twitter she would take time away, citing bouts of depression she's had since the 2018 U.S. Open. 23-time Grand Slam champion Serena Williams is offering her support.
I feel for Naomi. I feel like I wish I could give her a hug because I know what it's like.
Tennis legend Billie Jean King tweeted, "The important thing is that we give her the space and time she needs." This outpouring of support was delayed this week when the 23-year-old tennis champ first skipped out on mandatory press briefings. A wave of other stars and high-ranking tennis officials spoke out against her decision. Former Australian tennis official Richard Ings called the reaction to Osaka's initial comments appalling, tweeting, "Tennis must do better." Now, the head of the French Tennis Federation is softening his stance.
We are sorry and sad for Naomi Osaka. We wish her the best and the quickest possible recovery.
Osaka also said in a statement that when the time is right, she hopes to work with the tour to make things better for the players, the press, and the fans. Elise Preston, CBS News, New York.
All 4 Grand Slam tournaments had threatened Osaka with possible punishment in addition to the fine, including disqualification or suspension.